Alrighty, guys, so this is going to be our August team meeting. Thank y'all for showing up tonight. This is something that we do monthly just to really check in. I usually do some type of training. It's really just a time for us to come together, but the first thing that we're going to start off with is our July promotions. So in July, the following people promoted to certified consultant, which is 1,000 PRV. It's their first 1,000 in their business, cumulative. That's SD Lawrence, Yolanda Coleman, Erica Ingram, Amber, I'm going to butcher this last name, Amber Gutierrez, maybe, Abby Argarakis. I am awful at pronouncing his names. I'm so sorry. And Elizabeth Davis. That one I got. So congratulations to all of you. Let me make sure everybody is muted here real quick. Okay. And then lead consultant in July, Allison Harrison. So congratulations to Allison. She is our only leader promotion in our team last month. So congratulations to her. Our July top 10, #1 spot, Jennifer Peterson. Whoop, whoop. Sylvia Slutsky, Meredith McCowan, Sarah Evans, Ashley Crabtree, Angela Crops, Sophia Nito, Marianne Lang, Amy Boothman, and Paulina Quay. So congratulations to our top 10. That was amazing. A month for a lot of you. We have a lot of new names in the top 10, which is super exciting. Top sponsoring. So all of the following people sponsored one last month: Jennifer Peterson, Angela Crops, Paulina, Amber Paleshi, Sophia Nito, Allison Harrison, and Amy Boothman again. So a lot of the same names. So congratulations to them. Most active frontline on our team, Meredith and Sylvia are tied for the top spot with 5. And Erica and Paulina both had 4 active frontline. So congratulations to both of them, or all 4 of them. They both tied for 1 and 2. So that's amazing. And then our sales in July were $62,146. So that's a pretty darn good July. Announcements. So the first thing is I'm gonna stop it. Come on. I'm gonna hold him for a minute. Product credit from the Keep Going, Keep Growing is available in your ledger in your workstation. So if you earn levels 1 through 3, from the last incentive, that is now available. So that was super exciting to see today. So whatever you are planning to use that for, you can go ahead and do it. I am personally going to be checking out this air purifier that I already got. And if I love it, I'm going to go get another one. So whatever it is, you can use it for PRV or non-PRV. So if there's something in the success store that you really want, you can use it towards that, or you can use it towards product, which then in turn will get you points for the current incentive. So keep that in mind too. So make sure you claim that. Our Choose to Cruise program for our incentive is going strong. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight with the training, but we are offering this program to our whole group. It's for anyone that wants to earn any level, because we are in a brand new incentive. If you're a new consultant, we have the opportunity to earn a trip, an Alaskan cruise for our region, which is super exciting. You can either earn it for 1 or 2. So all the info that we have is on the incentives tab of our workstation. So make sure you go and check that out. Okay, just trying to make sure everybody's muted because I keep hearing something. I don't know what it is. Okay. The other thing is go ahead and start planning for SFR 2022. I know it sounds like it's so far away because it is a little less than a year, but it will make it so much easier on yourself if you start planning for that now. So what's that look like as far as planning? And I include this in the email this morning. I send out a weekly email to our team. So if that's something that you're not getting or not looking at, let me know. Sometimes those do go to spam, but every single Monday morning I send y'all an email just like with updates for the week. But I included in there that we booked through booking.com for our hotel across the street from the hotel in Salt Lake City. He just pushed a button. I don't know where everybody went. Okay, hold on. We are just a hot mess today. Okay. So booking through booking.com, it allowed us to reserve a hotel and not pay for it right now. We don't have to pay until June of next year, which is right before SFR. So we will know by then if we're going to do it or not, just because of the unknown with COVID and everything like that. But go ahead and start. One, book your room. Talk to some people, see if you can room with them, figure out your plan of who's going, you, your spouse. Kids are not allowed at SFR, so keep that in mind as well. And then start saving. So what does that look like? You would, so when we went to Austin, I probably spent around $1,000 between airfare, hotel, food, literally everything. And that was for one person. I split a room with 3 other people. So that was kept really low for me. So keep that in mind. But the biggest thing is the cost to do it. So one, it's a write-off for your business. So keep that in mind. Come tax time, you can write off anything that you do on that trip as a business write-off because it is a business trip. But you're also going to need to save to go probably because one, you're going to want to invest the time into your business to go, especially because who knows where you're going to be 10 months from now, 11 months from now in your business. So start planning for that now and start setting aside money every single month for that. And even if you have just the inkling that you want to go, I would suggest doing that because that's $100 a month. That's not a whole lot of money to put aside, especially when we're talking long range in our business. Exactly. There could be tons of directors in this group, and we're going to talk about that tonight too, taking control of your business. So keep that in mind. I don't care if you're an essential consultant right now. I went to my first SFR in person in Austin by myself. I met other people there when I was a star consultant. So you can't tell me that you can't go because of your title, because seeing what I was able to do, like I planned for that trip. We all did, everyone that went on that trip together. But it really made a difference because it wasn't so much of a blow when it happened because we had been planning on it for so long. Okay. So keep that in mind. The last announcement before I do our training real quick is about the join special. So again, I put that in the email this morning. If you're not familiar with it, familiarize yourself with it. If you are interested in building your team, so when you open the door to leadership, that does open a whole new door to your business. You have a lot more responsibility, to be completely honest with you. It is a total different side to this business, but it is so very rewarding. If that's something that you're interested in, taking advantage of our join specials that Cincy offers us is huge. This one is probably my favorite one because it involves both sides for me and for the person joining. As far as their incentives, like they're working to get that free kit, which we all know is amazing, so much more amazing than when I joined. So it gives them an incentive to what they're working for. And then obviously I'm there to help them too, as in y'all. So just keep that in mind. That is for the whole month of August. So if they join August 31st, they have those 15 days to still earn that kit for free. Does anybody have any questions about that join special or our incentive? You can drop it in the chat and I can go over those after. But everything that I know, we have the exact same workstation as far as our news tab and our incentive tab. No questions. Okay.
Hey, I was going to say something.
Yeah.
I put it in the chat, but I've been there a million times for my full-time job. Don't think that you need a car if you're flying in. There's a train from the airport. It's like $1, maybe $2. It takes you straight down to where the temple is,
Yep.
the Salt Palace, where all the hotels are. There's a mall, there's a million restaurants. You can walk everywhere. It's a super convenient area. So that's like an expense you don't even need to think about.
Yeah, and I don't remember what it's called, but I remember reading about it. It's like not a trolley, but it's like a public transportation that goes around the whole city.
And it's like
Yes.
free sometimes, and other times it's like $2 to get from the airport, if even that much. It's
Yeah.
not much at all, and it's an easy ride. It's clean, so it's a really good. It's a good location as far as like not needing to stress about needing all the extra logistics of being in a place
Right.
that you don't.
And there are tons of hotels around there. If our hotel is full, all the hotels are literally right there. So don't let that hold you back from not booking a hotel either, because we have people all over the convention center as far as hotels where they're staying. So we're staying at the Holiday Inn Express that week, but yeah, tons and tons of options. And again, you can keep that cost really low if you go in with other people and not have a whole hotel room to yourself. I'll say that you won't be spending any time in your hotel anyways. You will be at SFR, you'll be out doing things. So I wouldn't even, I mean, obviously you need a sleeping arrangement, but you don't need to have like a suite to yourself or anything. Yeah, so the 20th through the 25th is what we have booked for now. But that will include leadership, and leadership is for directors and above. We just don't know what part of that is. So like I said, if you can book something that you can change later, that would be your best bet, because I would assume that the 20th and the 21st would be leadership. And then that's just a guess, do not quote me, but then the 22nd through the 25th, that's just the block time that they gave us. They can change that at any time. So yeah, whatever you book, just make sure that you have a cancellation policy between yourself and COVID. That's the biggest thing. All righty. So we are going to talk about taking control of your business. And some of this for y'all, you've heard it a lot. You've heard it a lot. You've heard it many times, not just from me, but from other leaders. But we really have to change our mindset with this business, that it is your small business. It's not my small business. It's not Sylvia's small business. It's not Sarah's business that you're running. It's yours. Okay. Now, do we have leadership, and do we have trainings galore, and do we have tons of people that have been super successful in this business that have done it a certain way? Yes, there's going to be trainings on what has worked for them. There's going to be guidance on what you can try and do. You as an independent business owner, because that's what you are, that's what the IRS says you are, keep that in mind, guys, is that you can take what you want, to be completely honest, but whatever you don't take, you're responsible for. Okay. We cannot blame the success or the unsuccess, or whatever it's called, of your business on someone else, whether that be your sponsor, whether that be your customers, whoever that is. Okay. And we really have to take control and initiative in our own business to say what's going wrong with it and what we are changing. Okay. So the first thing with that is I want y'all to be super honest with yourself. I want you to take a step back and look at how you're working and what your work ethic is like. What does your schedule look like in your business? How are you working your business consistently? Are you fitting it into your life, or is your life fitting into it? How are you running your business? And compare it to a shop down the road. Say you were going to start your own business or your own bakery down the road. How much time would that be when you're first starting that up? Okay. I remember when I joined Scentsy, I was like, gosh, I'm putting a lot of time in this, and my paycheck wasn't reflecting at first. I'm being completely honest with y'all. Because I was building it. I was building that foundation. I was learning all the things. I was putting in a lot of time to set that foundation for what it is now. But you need to take a look at your work ethic too. So you have to take responsibility for what you are and what you're not doing in your business. Now, a good measurement of that is your systems. How do you run your business on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis? y'all know, and if you don't, I'm gonna let you know now that I'm a very no excuses type of person. And that's for a lot of personal reasons, but there are no excuses for what's important in your life. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, is my business a priority or is it an option? And once you decide that this business is a priority, you're going to start putting that ahead of watching Netflix or going out to dinner with friends or staying up late and binging a whole series or whatever else it may be. Everyone has something going on. Everyone is busy in life. And like I said, being busy is overrated. Are you being productive? That is the most important thing in your business, is that you can be busy doing non-income producing things all day, but at the end of the day, what have you gotten done? How many sales do you have for that day? How many people have you reached out to? What kind of foundation have you set? What kind of conversations have you had? All of those things go into how you're working your business. One of the things that I get a lot is how people tell me, I want this, and this out of this business. I want to be able to quit my job. I want to be able to stay at home with my babies. I want to be able to build it big. I want to have success like this person or this person. But then you don't take the initiative in your business to get there. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that you're showing up to meetings. So obviously you'll have that checked off. You're showing up to things that are offered to you. That is so important. And that's why I put today, like, if this is something, Cincy doesn't have to be it, but if Cincy is something that you are treating as a real business, whether that be a super, super itty bitty small business and it's your baby, or you're building it to be an empire, then you have to show up for it, whatever it is in between. And you have to decide that. No one can decide it for you. I can fuss at you and be like, where are you at? Like the people that tell me they want something out of the business, if they don't come to the meetings, that's the first thing I tell them. You got to start coming to the meetings. You got to start showing up for yourself, because I can't do it for you. Okay. Watching trainings. Guys, if you're a leader, especially, we have tons and tons of trainings between Simply Grace and Grit and Legacy Leaders and Anchored In. The directors pages that we're on, if you're a director or above, there is literally no excuse for you not to know what's going on in this business. There are so many trainings, so many options. It is overwhelming if you let it be. Okay. But watching those trainings that are provided for you, attending programs, we have Choose to Cruise, and we have, I think, 100 people in there, which is pretty good for our group size. But like, if you're telling me you want to earn the incentive, but you're not in the Choose to Cruise, that makes no sense to me. You're going to have to get outside your box. You're going to have to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, because that's when you're going to grow. Okay. But soaking up everything you can, and you get the choice of that, again, because you're a small business owner, you get to choose. That power of choice is so important, because it really is just up to you. We can try and motivate you, and we can try and encourage you to do things, but you have to make that choice if you're going to do it or not. Every single day is your choice. But you also get to choose, who do you spend your time with? How do you spend your time? Negativity is a choice, and it spreads like wildfire. So if you choose to be around negative people or negative groups, then that's your choice. You can easily say, nope, that's not for me. I remember that how can I say this? It's on YouTube. If someone doesn't bring you joy, if someone is always negative when you're around them and you just don't really feel super happy when you hang out with them, stop hanging out with them. That's hard to do, because especially as military wives, probably in general, but like, you only can hang out with so many people in your area, and not everyone is someone you want to hang out with. So it gets hard where it's like, okay, well, I'm either going to be lonely or I'm going to go hang out with negative people. No, I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to hang out with my family. I'm going to, invest that time into my boys and my business. But that's a choice, right? If someone is negative to you and makes you not feel positive when you walk away, you have the choice to nix that in your life, because it's your life. And know your value. So we all know that we deserve success. We deserve freedom from whatever it is in our life. Like, we don't have to go to a job we hate anymore. That's not the world we live in anymore. We don't have to go and be in a workplace that is toxic, that's affecting our mental health. You don't have to do that anymore. That's a choice that you're making. No one's making you make that choice. Now, is there going to be an in-between time where you don't have a choice because that's where you're stuck until you get to the next stop? Yes. But what are you doing to get to that next stop? What are you doing to work towards the fact that you're not going to do that anymore? You're not going to show up for that toxic place anymore. Again, it's your choice. And I think did I skip over that? Okay. This kind of ties into like telling your leaders that you want something in your business, but not showing up. When my business took a turn, literally a 180, it's because I decided that I wanted change, that I needed to change what I was doing in my business. So what does that mean? I showed up for literally everything. And this was very highly communicated with Eric too, because he knew that this was a time that I was going to be hitting it hard. But anything that my mentor offered, which is pretty much she's my upline without the benefits of being an upline, to be completely honest with you, but anything that she offered to her team, which I'm not even on, to her group, to a call, to a training that she went live or she posted on YouTube or anything in that nature, I was there. I was the first one on. I was listening with the AirPod in if I couldn't be on the computer. But I knew that I needed to be soaking up literally everything she was giving to me. One, because she's who she is. She's a boss. And she's successful, and she knew what she was talking about. And no, not everything that she offered me is something that I use in my business now. But the main concepts, the big picture, yes, it is. But I never missed a training, not one. I never missed a team meeting on a team that I wasn't on. And I see people on this team meeting, they're not on this team, but they have the opportunity to be here and they're here. That speaks volumes. And I still show up for my mentor's team meetings. You know why? Because that's where I learned to be a leader. I watch her lead, and that's how I lead my team. The things that she recognizes, I recognize. The timing that she recognizes, I recognize that timing. Okay. And I'm not saying I do everything tit for tat, but I watch what she's doing, how she's running her business, how she's working with her team, and I implement that into my business. Okay. So as a SSD, I'm going to other people's team meetings. I want to be learning. I want to be always gaining a different way of doing things. And that can be implemented to a certified consultant. If you're being offered all of these things, all of these trainings, and you just don't feel like getting on, then that's a you problem. And that's totally fine. But you can't come back the next day and say, oh, what'd I miss? Okay. It's just like I had someone message me the other day and they're like, how do I flip a party? I'm like, girl, go search on our team page. It's all there. Oh, I left the team page. Sounds like a you problem. Everything you need is on that team page. Okay. I can't do that. I cannot cater to one person when I have a team of 170. That's what that team page is for, so that we can post once and reach all of you. Because could you imagine if you tried to message each individual person when you wanted to share something? That's not smart. Okay. We're not doing that. Thankfully, she added herself back to the page, because that's not something that is duplicatable for me to do. If I had to do it for her, I'd have to do it for everyone. Okay. And that's not what I'm teaching people to do in this business. So yes, anything that's offered, show up. And I'm not just saying for me. I will always be here. As long as there's one person on here, I will always be here. And I love that y'all are here and that you show up. But you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for your business. You're doing it to learn yourself. Okay. You're not doing it so you can say, hey, I showed up to the meeting. No, you're doing it so you can say, hey, I took this and I'm going to implement it to my business. We have to stop complaining, guys. We have to stop saying, oh, nobody wants to party. Y'all think I don't know that no one wants to party right now? Y'all think I don't know that? Do you think that me telling me that no one wants to party and that your PRV sucks and you don't know what to do is something that is helpful to you? Probably not. We are in a part of our business right now where no one wants to party. I'm not going to say it's a fact, but that's something that I have learned over the last few months. So we are having to get creative with how we're doing PRV. How many trainings have been shared? I mean, 2 months ago, I'm pretty sure Sarah did a training at our team meeting about different ways to get PRV. Yes, we are a party plan company, but a party is not always just a Facebook party or an in-home party or a text party, or even with the party word in it. So you have to keep that in mind that, yes, we have a party format for our business where a host gets rewards from bringing people into the business, but that doesn't mean it has to look a certain way. It doesn't have to fit a mold. But we have to identify, how do we identify, or how do we figure out to stop complaining? Because a lot of people, they don't know how to stop complaining. That's just how they were raised. To be honest with you, it's true. You have to decide, what are the things I can control and what are the things I cannot. For the things that or what you have control over and what you don't. And so the things that you have control over, you have to ask yourself, what can I do to change the way that things are? How the things that I have control over, how can I change the way that things are going? Okay. So obviously with the problem of PRV or partying, we're going to have to be a little bit more, work a little bit harder. Okay. We're going to probably have to talk to more people. We're going to have to get creative with how we're running our business. The things that we don't have control over, you get the choice. You get to decide, do I want to still keep complaining over things I don't have control over? I'm sorry, New York people, I don't like New York weather. And it's a joke now, and it's funny, right? It's too cold here for me. But if I let that point where every single morning I got up and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to freeze, affect my whole mood for the day, I would get nothing done because I'd be so set up or so caught up in the weather, something I can't control, right? We can't let things like the weather control our mood. We can't. You have control. You have that choice. Okay. Yes. Google is your friend. Okay. Google the ideas. Google what other DS companies are doing. Okay. There's I don't want to say business plans, but there's so many different ways of running a business that you have to get creative. And you're going to have to try. You can't just be like, oh, I asked 20 people to party and only one person said, yes, I'm done. No. Okay. That's not how we work a business, right? If you had the bakery shop down the road and one person came in a week or a day, good Lord, I hope it's more than a week. You'd be getting creative. You'd be changing up something you're doing. You'd be getting in that newspaper or going out on the sidewalk or doing something to get people to come into your bakery. Same thing with our business. Okay. Consistency is more important and realistic than perfection. Consistency is more important and realistic than perfection. It's never going to be perfect. If you're not failing, you're not working. If you're not making mistakes, you're not working in this business. If you don't like making mistakes, you got to get over it. Because if you're not failing in this business, if you're not being told no, I'm not going to say it's a failure, but it's a negative. If you're not being stood up, if you're not being ignored, if you're not being laughed at, if you're not being talked about, you're not working. Let's just be real honest. Okay. So if you aren't failing, you aren't working, mistakes will grow you. The more mistakes you make, the more you're going to grow, the more you're going to learn. That's just in life, right? Stop listening to the negative opinions of others. Stop. Who freaking cares? Y'all, I used to be so caught up in not wanting to ask someone to party. I used to be that person who was like, I'm not asking her. She's just going to laugh at me. And then I was asked a question just as simple as, what does it matter if they laugh at you? One, they're probably not your friend anyways. Two, you don't want to be around people like that, right? And three, they don't pay your freaking bills. And not even bills. They don't make your dreams for you. They don't get to tell you you're not going to get to go start building savings for your children. You're not going to start getting to pay for your kids' college when they're 6 years old. Who cares what they say? You don't get to buy that camper. You don't have enough work ethic to do those things. You don't let those people bother what you're doing. If you don't fully believe in your business and in Scentsy and what you can do with this business, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay. Those same people that made fun of me back in Georgia with this business are now making purchases on my website because they saw that I didn't give up. Because that's the one thing, they want to watch you fail. They want to watch you give up. They want to be able to say, huh, I told you so. You ain't telling me I told you so. Okay. And I failed a lot. I failed a lot before Scentsy. I did 2 other companies that I failed at because they obviously weren't the right fit for me. Okay. But you cannot let other people determine how you're going to live your life, because Scentsy can be that, whatever it is. And if you haven't seen that in me or in any of the other SSDs or SDs or Ds that have changed their life with a wax and warmer business, like, get out of here. Yeah, it's real. Let's talk paychecks. Ask to see my paychecks. Ask to see what I'm doing with these things. How do you, and it's not, and this is not to gloat, but it's to show you that this is so much bigger than the girl that went to high school with you's opinion. So much bigger. Okay. They're probably wishing that they would have done it when you did it, to be completely honest with you. Okay. We have to stop listening to other people's negative opinions. And to start taking full control of your business, you have to start taking action. All of this, you have to start taking action with it. Old habits are not going to open new doors. You have to change to grow. You cannot sit there and do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. That is literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. No, you have to change to grow. Okay. And I was talking to the SSDs about the topic tonight, and one of the quotes that Amber Willoughby said was, if you stay inside the cardboard box waiting on someone to wrap you up into a beautiful present to be presented, you'll never get there. You must get out of that box and make the box beautiful. Huge. Stop waiting on someone else to come and make you beautiful. Get out of the box and make that box beautiful. That box is your life. Make your life beautiful, because you have the option to do that with this business. So if this is something that you're going to work on and implement in your business to really take control of your business and to run it like a real small business, I want you to ask yourself at the end of every day, is what you did today getting you closer to your tomorrow? Is the work that you did today getting you to your goals? Okay. And to wrap it up, this all goes with our team name. So Simply Grace and Grit was for a reason, because I want you all to run your business with grace and grit. And grace is all your mistakes now serve a purpose instead of serving shame, because you have to give yourself grace in your mistakes and in your failures. You have to give yourself grace and room to continue to grow through those things. Because if you don't, and you sit there and say, I don't have any PRV, I'm done, last month sucked. No. First, we're going to have some grit, and we're going to get up and wipe ourselves off. And then we're going to have grace on ourselves for being sucky last month, and we're not going to be sucky this month. Just an example. Okay. You have to let those mistakes be a learning time. This is not a poor pity, I'm so awful shame time. No. Okay. And I say all of this because when our team page is very important, and when we are sharing things like where we're struggling, it is super important, because what we're struggling with doesn't mean everyone's struggling, right? So if we see someone struggling with something we're doing really good, that's what that team page is for. But we can't also just put on the page what we're struggling with and be like, oh, no one helped me, I'm just going to let the month go by and we'll just start over tomorrow, or we'll start over next month. No, we're not doing that. Okay. We're taking control of our business and we're implementing the things that we're being taught. The 3 legs, very simple: PRV, sponsoring, and coaching. It's not easy to balance that stool, okay? Especially with the self-care on top. It's not easy to balance it, but that is what we're working towards every month, to balance that stool, to have the PRV, to have the sponsoring, and to have the training equally in our business where it continues to build. Yes, always willing to learn, always, yes, be coachable. And like I said, I'm at SSD still going to a team meeting. Like anytime I'm on a bunch of SSDs groups, and I go to their meetings whenever I see that they're having, because I'm like, I want to know what they're doing, right? I want to learn. I want to be better. And we can all be better. So we have to stop putting blame on other people, on other things, because the small business is a double-edged sword, right? Because we get to celebrate when things are good, but when things are bad, there's no one to blame but you. That's just the truth of it. Okay. All righty. So that's all I have for y'all